Well, seems we're back doing this. Let's get to it. It's a nice rainy day out here in Oklahoma City. I'm being slightly sarcastic when I say nice because I really don't like rain all that much, but I'm inside. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed. So, yeah, let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Britton here, also known as Samoki Dude, and I'm back with another wrap up, if you want to call it that, but it's basically I call it what I read, which is basically a wrap up. And today I'm going to be talking about all the books, films, and shows that I watched this last month of April. I don't want to stall for too long, but I had a pretty solid reading month. I had school, so I didn't really complete as many as I usually would if I didn't really have anything much to do. But school's about to end soon, so I'm looking forward to that. But again, don't want to stall too much. Let's get into it. So, first book I have for today is S.A. Cosby's My Darkest Prayer, which is his first novel that he actually had republished in 2022, I believe. Very good. I've liked all three of Cosby's works. I really enjoyed Blacktop Wasteland. Really enjoyed Razorblade Tears. Though I still think that Razorblade Tears is my favorite of the three that I've read of Cosby so far. But My Darkest Prayer is a very solid crime novel. Definitely has that pulp feel. If you're a fan of like Joe R. Lansdale, you'll probably get a kick out of this. There's definitely not the hick humor. Razorblade Tears has more of that hick humor that Joe Lansdale's known for, but this one does have a good sense of humor. There's also a lot of really good crime elements. The mystery's very compelling, and there's also a lot of interesting discussion about religion and how certain people abuse religious institutions for their own selfish gains, which is something I'm quite fascinated in. So, yeah, solid crime novel. If you love crime fiction, you can't really go wrong with Cosby as far as I'm aware. Yeah, check it out. This is a pretty good book. Second book I have here, which is actually probably the book of the month, that is Only Killers and Thieves by Paul Howarth. I actually started Motherless Brooklyn by Jonathan Lethem, and then I just wasn't feeling it, and I decided to just put it down and get back to it at a different point, and I ended up picking Only Killers and Thieves instead. If you are a fan of Aussie westerns like The Proposition, or even Cormac McCarthy's work, you will definitely get a kick out of this. Though, unlike James Wade, it never feels like Howarth is borrowing too heavily from McCarthy. The vibe is very similar, of course. I quite enjoy the atmosphere. I really enjoy the time that we get with the characters, but I'll get into that because I actually have a review of this book cooking up at the moment, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. So, but yeah, Only Killers and Thieves was really good. Aside from the fact that who did the horrible crime that sets our two main protagonists on their journey is pretty damn obvious if you're paying attention. But I really like this book. I don't want to talk too much about it because, again, I'm doing a review soon. So, yeah, Only Killers and Thieves, recommend it. Good book. If you like The Proposition, highly recommend it. This is a good one to satiate your thirst. I'm thirsty today, speaking of that. Whew. Third book is from my main man, Joe Byrne. It is Wistful Ascending by Joe Byrne. I actually talked about this very book on this channel. If you want to go watch it, I'll link it down below. I had a great time talking with Joe, but this book was really good. I was really not sure what to expect. I picked this up as a palate cleanser because I had read a bunch of like really dark and heavy books, and I'm like, you know what? Let's get something, let's have something that's a little lighter. And this is very light in tone. I mean, this isn't like a very grim story, but there's a complexity in this that I was not expecting, though I found it to be a very pleasant surprise. And as someone who is a fan of superhero stories like Invincible or Guardians of the Galaxy, even if you like Star Trek, you might get a kick out of this. But good book. I really like it. It's well written for the most part. I really like the characters. The hype is certainly warranted, and shows that self-pub is not inherently a bad thing. I really quite enjoyed Wistful Ascending a lot. So, Joe, thank you for providing this book. for me to give an honest review to, and I'm glad that I enjoyed it. I thought this was a really good book, and I can't wait to read more of the series, because this book really ends on a really interesting note that I will not dare spoil for my beloved audience. But check this book out. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy... really is one of those books that showcases why the superhero genre is awesome without actually being a comic. And unfortunately, it didn't distract me too much that this is a superhero novel as opposed to a comic book. So, yeah, Joe did a good job. I'm not just saying this because I consider him a friend. This book is pretty damn good. If you're a fan of superheroes, Star Trek, both, check this out. It's a lot of fun. It's also really, really good in ways that I was not expecting. Speaking of comics, the last book I have here today is actually a comic, and that is Headlopper by Andrew MacLean and the great colorist Mike Spicer. If you're a fan of sword and sorcery like Conan, Solomon Kane, Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, or even comics like Hellboy, the art style, if you can tell here, very inspired by Mike Mignola. So, yeah, that's really what attracted me to this book. I thought this was a pretty solid comic. I did have some pacing issues here and there, but that's with a lot of comics, so I guess that's not really saying too much. But I really, really liked this comic. I thought it was solid. The art is really interesting. I really like how it's cartooned. Like, yeah, look at that. Headlopper doing his thing. They don't call him that for no reason, of course. But I do highly recommend this comic for people who are interested in sword and sorcery. I would definitely recommend this to like Liam or someone like that, because definitely has that it definitely has that sword and sorcery feel. And also, if you're a fan of God of War games, the Norse version I'm talking about, there is even a talking head in this comic. There's also some offbeat humor. Really shows why Image Comics is really the business. I really like Image Comics. I really like what they're doing. They really have become the new Vertigo. I mean, they are taking the imagination is the limit here with Image. And yeah, I really like Headlopper. There are some issues I had. There are points it does feel like MacLean hasn't quite found his tone yet. But if you're a fan of Mike Mignola, though it's a much more lighthearted style rather than the more dark and macabre Mike Mignola, I would definitely check Headlopper out. Yeah, this was pretty good. I also ended up watching a bunch of shows and movies, mainly for my work, because I work as an entertainment journalist at my job at my college's newspaper. So I'm going to talk about some of them real quick. I did start Fallout, which is actually pretty good. I've only watched the first couple of episodes so far. I haven't watched the end. But I like it. It nails the tone of the games very, very well. And the writing is actually pretty good for the most part. There's a pretty interesting mystery. Jonathan Nolan, I think, is a talented writer. I mean, he's worked with his brother Christopher Nolan on some of his movies. As a matter of fact, I would say that Jonathan is the better writer of the two, but I won't go into that. I know he didn't just make this show, but Fallout was pretty good so far anyway. I still need to finish it. Walton Goggins. What can I say about that man? That man is a national treasure, as the kids like to say. He's been in a lot of really great stuff. Hateful Eight, The Shield, which is a very underrated show, if none of you have ever seen it. It was basically Breaking Bad before Breaking Bad. And he is phenomenal in it. He's one of the best characters in that show. One of the best actors on that show. I mean, my God. But Walton Goggins, man, that guy's incredible. Also, Elia Perel is also very good. I really liked her a lot. There's also a couple of other character actors in this. Like, we also see Chris Purcell, a.k.a. Jerry, from Jerry from Rick and Morty. We also see Michael Emerson in a couple episodes. You might know him from Lost. He played Ben Linus. Also, Person of Interest, another underrated show from Jonathan Nolan. That dude, he really knows what he's doing. And there's a couple more I'm probably forgetting at the moment. Kyle MacLachlan, if you're a fan of Twin Peaks, you'll probably get a kick out of that. I still need to see Twin Peaks. Please don't get after me in the comments. But overall, a solid show, and one of the better video game adaptations. I mean, I don't know really what that says, but it's good. I like it. I definitely would recommend it. It's definitely a lot better than Fallout 4, or at least I think it's better than Fallout 4. I know there's actually people out there who like Fallout 4, which, good for you. I'm glad you like that. Let's move on before I get too much in the Fallout talk. Three Body Problem. Yes, D&D are back with a science fiction show after they completely fucked the goose on Game of Thrones. And what can I say? It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's not Vandermeer level of like peak sci-fi, but it's pretty good. I heard that the books that this is based on are very dry and more like idea driven, which like I mean I guess I can I have I mean I, you know it's whatever, but the show is actually pretty good. The characters are solid. The mystery, the implications of all what's going on in this show is really interesting, and there's also some great performances. John Bradley's in it. He steals the show. Liam Cunningham is in it. Game of Thrones alumni, both of them. And both of them are fantastic. There's even some emotional moments that were actually pretty good. But yes, Three Body Problem, solid show. I still haven't forgiven D&D, though Benioff's City of Thieves, I think, is a fantastic novel, so check that out. But yeah, Three Body Problem, pretty good. I do recommend it if you're bored and want to watch a sci-fi show. I mean, it's pretty good, I'm not going to lie. As for movies, I saw Monkey Man by Dev Patel. You might know him from Slumdog Millionaire or The Green Knight, which, yes, is a great film. Don't even at me, because it's a great film. It's a great movie. Don't say anything. Anyway, Monkey Man is pretty good. It does drag a little bit in the middle part, but I think Dev Patel's pretty solid director. The action sequences are pretty well done. I really like that it's not just... as much as I love The Raid, it definitely is... It does wear its influences on its sleeve. There's a kitchen fight, much like in The Raid 2. There's also a bunch of neon color fights, like John Wick. There's also a lot of like Hindu mythology, which I thought was interesting. But like I said, it kind of drags in the middle half, which I thought was just okay. But solid film. I thought it was a solid film. I really like Dev Patel. I think he's a solid actor. I wish he had more stuff he could do, but I'm glad he got to make Monkey Man. It's a solid film with pretty good action sequences. If you're a fan of just wanting to watch a movie and have a good time, I recommend Monkey Man. Final film I have here is Civil War, which is Alex Garland's newest film. I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to it because Alex Garland is one of my favorite screenwriters. He's also one of my favorite directors working today, even though he did say after this movie he was going to step down from directing for a little bit, which makes me kind of sad, but understandable. I won't say too much because I know my friend Jason is going to be making a video about Civil War because we were talking about it after I saw the film, and he was like, "No, it's a good film. People aren't getting it." And I'm all like, "All right, I don't know if I got it, but I think there's good stuff in there." It's a solid film. It's definitely not what people would expect. It's definitely the Apocalypse Now / Full Metal Jacket for war journalists. Though I guess Full Metal Jacket is probably a better comparison since the second half of that movie is about a war journalist. Solid performances from everyone around. It looks great. There's even a particular scene with Jesse Plemons, aka Todd from Breaking Bad, or if you remember him from Black Mirror, he played the creepy developer guy. He's great in this. He's really that Jesse Plemons is really good at playing these like creepy sociopathic like weirdo type of characters. I don't know how he does it, but he is just fantastic at playing those kind of roles. He's just great. But aside from that, I feel there were some points of the film that could have been done better. There definitely felt like there were some gaps in, like, I think there were some themes that Garland was trying to hit on that I think he could have expanded on a little more. There's that kind of conflict between the younger, more idealistic journalist, while you see the more jaded journalist played by Kirsten Dunst. I think there could have been a little more conflict there. I think that would have been pretty interesting. He didn't do that. But the movie we did get, I liked. And I thought it was pretty good for the most part. And I do recommend it. So, yeah. This is the first take. So, yeah, this is doing pretty good. That is all I have for today in terms of basically all the stuff I watched and read in, April. So, yeah, hope that May is a good month. It's turned out pretty good so far. And until next time, I will see you guys. Later. Oh wait, no. Let me. Geez, I'm losing track of time. I'm kind of burned out for the week already. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to come find me, I am on Twitter. I am on Goodreads and Letterboxd, where I write reviews that are probably more coherent than the one you just heard right now. You can also find me on Discord if you want to come and hang out with me. You can find my Discord page. You can talk about movies, comics, books, whatever you want on that channel. Subscribe, do all that fun stuff, as my buddy John Minton likes to say. It only takes a second, and it feels good. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've been Britton, also known as Samoki Dude. Until next time.